What is up, guys? Rick Kakis here, and today we have some new Destiny news to go over, and that's because the Bungie Weekly update has just been released. Now, there wasn't anything huge announced in this weekly update, however, we do have some little things that I'm sure a lot of you would like to be kept up to date with. So, let's get started. The weekly update starts with the acknowledgement that Hotfix 2.5.0.2 hit Destiny, and they say that there's a lot of mixed feelings. That is the understatement of the century. There is a lot of pissed off people within the Destiny community, and I'll definitely be doing a later video on that. But they say that, people have mixed opinions. Some people are certainly enjoying the meta, and I think that's true. I think even the people who are upset, a lot of them upset over issues involving glitches affecting perks and weapons that weren't supposed to be affected, that's a different thing than actually enjoying the result of a lot of these changes and enjoying the current meta, which I do think a fair amount of people are doing. However, Bungie also laid out that they have a specific thread dedicated to collecting feedback on the new hotfix. So, instead of saying how dumb everything is in the comment section of this video, you can still definitely do that, I'm gonna link that thread in the description of this video so you can give Bungie your very, very pointed feedback. I've already seen the comment section. I know a lot of people have very strong opinions on what happened, and I think rightfully so. Further than there, they talk about a new Bungie Bounty announced. So the Bungie Bounty everyday thing has ended, that was last week. They're now going to have Bungie Bounties every week. This Bungie Bounty is going to be 6 p.m. Pacific time on February 18th, so that's only 2 days, with the target being lollipops on the PlayStation 4. The interesting part is that the region is going to be New Zealand. So hopefully, the players from Australia, from New Zealand, may be able to get into those lobbies easier, maybe getting better connections as well. So I think that's good. I would have preferred, I've been hearing a lot from you guys in the comment section that a lot of Xbox players feel kind of disenfranchised by the fact that every single time it's on the PlayStation 4. So I hope Bungie kind of reaches out to people who play on the Xbox, or even just people who own Destiny on both. I know a lot of streamers like, Say No to Rage, they play on Xbox and PlayStation and switch back and forth. So it'd be nice for Bungie to reach out to, someone like that and say, hey, can you play on the Xbox for the bounty, because these players are kind of being neglected. But again, that is good in any event for the people in the New Zealand, Australia area. Moving on, we have some kind of information about what's happening in the springtime for Destiny. Now, this is kind of strange because it wasn't officially announcing any new content in Destiny yet. Bungie said that they're going to be firstly in the Emerald City Comic-Con. So during that event from March 2nd to the 5th, Bungie will set up shop there and have a store selling a bunch of merchandise. They're going to be present there. They're also going to be at PAX East in Boston from March 11th to 12th. So, Bungie's going to be at both of those events. Just, have a physical presence there if you want, or if you're going to those events, of course, you can interact with Bungie. They're going to be, I'm sure, selling merchandise, all of that stuff. That's, some interesting news regardless. However, that is more interesting to me considering the timeline of things to come in terms of future content. We know Destiny 2 is on the horizon. We know Destiny 2, Activision said in the financial conference call that it's supposed to arrive fall 2017, which is coming up. We are definitely in the area where announcements are made for products coming out, next year. That's going to be coming very soon. In addition to that, Bungie has also stated that Destiny will receive a spring update provided by the live team, which is going to contain new content. So if they're going to have a presence at PAX East, that is definitely one of the bigger shows. That could be where they announce something important. Maybe the spring update for Destiny, maybe even Destiny 2. And in fact, it does kind of make sense for them to do both. And the reason being is because How is Destiny 2 going to be announced? Well, there's likely going to be some kind of teaser. Just, a title image of Destiny 2 appearing, maybe some sound in the background, maybe some music, something like that. It's going to be a very basic teaser, probably, rather than a big trailer showing off a ton of stuff. Now, where's the best place to put a teaser? Right? It's hard to have an entire show like Bungie puts on an exhibition at PAX East and then just shows a 10-second teaser. Like, that seems kind of dumb to me, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree. But it does make sense to put a Destiny 2 teaser at the end of a trailer or at the end of a big presentation showing off the next spring content. They may book the floor, they may have an area at PAX East, they may do a presentation of showing off all of this spring content, showing more stuff about what they're going to do for Destiny in spring, and at the very end of that presentation, show a teaser for Destiny 2. Now, that's all speculation, but it definitely is possible. The fact that they said we are going to be present is kind of increasing the likelihood that something will actually be announced in some of these events. Definitely PAX East rather than the Emerald City Comic-Con. In addition to that, they also mentioned that they were sending Deej to Europe to, quote, catch up with some of the partners we work with in that corner of the world. Not too sure what that means, but, they're mentioning it for a reason. Maybe he's just heading to Europe to actually just do some business stuff that we have no idea about and won't actually result in us learning anything new. But let me know in the comments section what you guys think that means, because it's kind of interesting that they mentioned that. Aside from that, they said really nothing else. Again, it was a pretty limited day for news involving Destiny, but I thought I would just kind of update you guys regardless. The last interesting thing I want to mention is that they said next week there's going to be news on another Bungie target and some news on the next Iron Banner. Now, this is interesting because I was basically putting my money on the Iron Banner being announced this week for this current Bungie Weekly update. Even looking at the dates, it doesn't make a lot of sense. The next weekly update comes out the 23rd. There's only 28 days of February, so that means that if it's announced on the 23rd next week for the next Bungie Weekly update, it obviously has to be announced before it hits the game. So it's going to be announced on the 23rd, and then it's going to come out the following Tuesday, which is the 28th, which is the last day of February. That means that there's not going to be a February Iron Banner. The Iron Banner is going to start, yes, on the last day of February. The rest of it is going to be in March. So that kind of is disappointing that we're missing out on a month of Iron Banner. I'm not sure why they're doing this, but maybe March is going to have 2 Iron Banners, one at the beginning and one at the end. To make up for this, it's definitely a possibility, but regardless, that's what's happening with Iron Banner. It's going to be announced next week. Well, it's going to be talked about next week, that's what they said. We don't know exactly when or what is happening with the next Iron Banner. And quite frankly, guys, that's kind of concerning. We just got a huge shift to the Destiny PvP meta. And the fact that they're delaying Iron Banner means that they're also delaying our opportunity to properly judge this PvP meta. Dicking around with the Soros regime in Clash by yourself is a lot different than getting in a team of 6 and versing another very sweaty team of 6 and trying to win all the time. Iron Banner is a great place to test properly, test new metas, throw weapons that people think are good right up against the wall and see if they're actually good in a pretty competitive environment. And again, the fact that they're delaying this is delaying our ability to properly assess this new meta. And they may be doing this for a reason. They may be kind of concerned about what this new meta is actually going to bring to Destiny. Especially, the Iron Banner would really bring out the flaws of the glitches involved. It would really showcase, Cauterize, is that too weak? Red Death, is that too weak? Hungering Blade, is that too weak? All of that stuff, it would showcase really the flaws of this new PvP meta. So I really hope the Iron Banner comes sooner rather than later, because every day it delays, every week it doesn't happen, we aren't able to properly judge the shift in the meta, and that is definitely a problem, because when we can't properly judge it, we can't give the proper advice, and Bungie can't fix it. Simple as that. So guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. Now, if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. It's a simple thing to do, but it really helps me out. Now, if you want to see more Destiny content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And if you actually want to be notified of new uploads, be sure to press the bell beside subscribe. Now, if you guys want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That's linked in the description down below, as is my Twitch channel, which you can also follow. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.